that what we want? Like, I'm just trying to think, like, when you were younger, like, I can't wait to be on the radio. I can't wait for people.
Welcome to the Neutrogena Studios First Frame Roundtable. I'm Chloe Bailey, and we are here with some amazing ladies today. We have Kyra Peters, director of the short animated film If My Voice Rang Louder Than My Skin, Sarah Jean Williams, director of the live action short Anavant, and Tuya Leatherwood, the lead actress in Anavant. Missing from this table is my beautiful sister, who I miss so, so much, and she's also a huge fan of these films and the both of you. So speaking of Hallie, she left a message in her absence.
Hi everyone, Hallie here. I am so sorry that I couldn't be there today. I'm shooting out of town, but I just wanted to share with you how excited I am and how thrilled I am to have been a part of this program. Each director took on the theme of imagining a world where skin was not a barrier, and you all blew my sister and I away. Your visions came to life, and we are so, so proud of you. I just wanted to send my well wishes and congratulations to Sarah, Jean, and Kyra. Bye, guys.
Hallie! Thanks, sis, so much for that really, really sweet message. So let's talk about the films. You both were given a prompt. Imagine a world where skin is not a barrier to unlock what's best for you. Kyra, can you tell us what inspired you to make your film?
The prompt in itself brought a lot of emotion in me. Imagine a world where skin isn't a barrier for you. At first, I literally couldn't imagine it. I think my reality is so tied to skin disparity that world felt fake, like a fairy tale. And then I think that's where I dived into it more. I wanted to create a attainable fairy tale for people that look like me and people that are where I'm from, the Bronx, to see themselves and put themselves in and see how they fit into this magical world where skin isn't a barrier. And then how do we get there? How do we get that happily ever after? And so that process of me understanding the prompt kind of brought out this film and the journey of a young Black man in the Bronx trying to unite his community through music, unite all the different voices together and create his own happily ever after.
Yeah. What about you, Sarah Jean?
My whole process when I heard what does it mean to be authentic in your own skin, I was like, I guess I thought back to when I was younger and what beautiful meant to me, and to the most beautiful person in the world, still is kind of, in a sense, is my mom. I think everyone thinks that. And I think I was learning about race at that time because when you're introduced to school and you see different people and why don't I look like them, I was questioning why didn't I look like my mother. And to a point where I was scrubbing my skin, trying to scrub the brown out, I guess, in a sense. And my mom figured this out and she was like, stop doing that. You're beautiful just the way you are. And that's kind of where I found myself in the ballet world. And I was reading about, unfortunately, a lot of Black ballerinas were asked to wear lighter foundation than their skin tones and not look like themselves and wash out their skin. And I was like, that's insane. That's crazy. And what does it mean to go out and perform and do the thing that you probably love but not be yourself or not be represented as who you were? And I was interested in that story. And I did more research, talked to more Black dancers, and kind of figured out this parallelism within my world and with such a beautiful art form such as ballet, and how to make that work with my own experiences to talk about internalized racism, microaggressions, and doing the thing you love authentically as yourself.
Yeah. I remember when Sis and I selected both of your films, we were just absolutely so moved. And I loved how yours told that story and that perspective through dance and, with ballerinas, and yours was through music. Yeah. And, I love music. So I was I just loved how you all just took it there. And I also loved how it went from black and white to color, and when it changed into color. And it's ironic that both of you all does that, so it's pretty cool. But I love how the color symbolizes freedom and finally breaking through those barriers of what the world tells you that you're not supposed to be doing. And I was just so moved, and you all are just so incredible, and I'm honestly honored to be here with both of you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure, for sure.
Just imagine what the world could be if skin wasn't a barrier for you and me.
So ladies, when was the very first time that you became aware that your skin was a factor in the way that people perceive you?
I think you don't like see race when you're a kid. You don't understand it until you go into public spaces like school. I think I didn't understand that I was two different races until I went to like elementary school when people started to ask me like, what are you? And I think that's when I started to put into account, oh, not everyone is like black and white. Not everyone looks the same. No one looks like me. And I think that's when you go into social settings and people start bringing up what your differences are, and specifically race, I think that's when I started to notice.
I'm originally from the South. I was born and raised in Madison, Alabama, and you would think that like my first introduction to race would have been there because the South is very much the South. But my first encounter definitely was when I started ballet. So when a black ballerina pops up, that was something that definitely people pushed back against, and I was the one that felt that. I mean, it was just me and two other black girls in my ballet school, and there's 40, 50 girls in that school, and it was just 3 of us.
Definitely. I remember in school feeling otherized just because people don't mean any harm, but like often I hear like a lot of questions about my skin or about my hair, and you feel like an experiment, like you have to defend who you are. Just like my existence is like so confusing and appalling that I have to like explain it all the time, and it becomes exhausting.
And it's very exhausting when you see people around you don't have that same experience, and where they don't have to explain who they are. And I share your experience as well growing up in the South. And it's like when I was young, I didn't see color. I was like, oh, I'm just another human being. I love school, I love music, I love to dance, I'm just having fun. And I think it's when I went to a predominantly white school where it was only like 2 black kids in my grade, where I realized, oh, maybe I am different. I feel myself being treated differently, not only by the students, but the teachers as well. So it was like, even in that moment, I was like, okay, America sees me as a black girl and nothing else.
I think what it is, it's like ignorance about like diversity and difference. That's kind of like reminds me of hair. Like my mom, like I love her the most, but like she didn't know how to handle my hair, so she would just like cut out the knots, and it was not because like she was trying to be, I guess, bad onto me or like telling myself like I didn't love your hair. It's like she just didn't know how to handle it. And I think if it was people more vocal about like embracing like the differences that we do have, and talking and being more vocal about like the differences that everyone has, it wouldn't, I don't think race would be as big of an issue or alienating to kids.
So here we are in 2022, where the idea of representation has become a central issue. Kyra and Sarah Jean, as directors, do you feel a responsibility to tell stories with representative cast, or stories that have to do with the specificity of blackness or womanhood, or in fact, the lives of black women?
I feel a responsibility to tell stories that are diverse and authentic to specific communities and experiences of those people. I don't think I specifically have to always tell a sob story about the black experience or what's happening. I feel like I can tell stories that are magical, that are fun, that are like, I don't know, real, and still kind of represent that the diversity that I see in my life. So I just, what my goal is to tell authentic stories, basically an ode to my younger self.
For sure. Tuya, what about in your previous life as a ballerina, where there is a serious lack of representation for us? How do you feel about that? And is your experience different than as it is as an actress?
In my previous life as a ballerina, I definitely say that the lack of representation was so bad that when I first moved to California, strictly as a ballerina to dance on TV and film and things like that, my agent who signed me, so she had to see me dance, right? She had to know I was a ballerina. She saw my body, she saw my hair type, my skin color, told me I would not book as a ballerina. So there was such a lack of representation that my own agent who signed me for this specific talent told me that I won't book in this specific talent and that I should choose another talent to pick up in order to get booked. There's so much more representation now, which I'm extremely grateful for. But at the same time, I do wish that there was more representation as the whole of the Black community. I think that there's one side being shown a lot of the time, one side, one hair type, one color. And I just feel like there's so many different types of Black people out there. Why are we only putting ourselves in a box?
as my sister and I were growing up, because we grew up in the industry,
Yeah.
and like acting was really our first thing. And I've always had locks in my head since I was like 3 years old, and same for Hallie. And so we would go on auditions, and so agents, we were in Atlanta, they would tell us the same thing, like we wouldn't book roles with our locks. So there even came to a point where we tried putting wigs in our hair.
Yeah.
I still remember feeling the glue on my ears, like glued shut, and like feeling like not like myself. And it was, the wig was so crazy and way too big for my head. And I remember going into the audition room and seeing one of the casting directors, and they were like, oh yeah, this is it. And I was like, I don't feel like myself.
Yeah.
I never really thought my locks made me stand out like a sore thumb. And honestly, I'm so proud of my sister and I, because we are able to do what we love to do and still keep our locks.
Yeah.
You know? So, Tuya, you are an accomplished ballerina, transitioning into a career as an actress. Tell us about your personal connection to this role and this film.
So when I first read the script, something that really popped out to me was an experience that I personally had. I had gotten a scholarship to a very prominent ballet school summer intensive. So when you're trying to get into companies, summer intensives are, where's that? So at my home studio in Alabama, I got no recognition. But whenever I auditioned for intensives, I would always get scholarships. And so, of course, they would love to brag about that.
Yeah.
So when I was at this summer intensive, at the end of these summer intensives, you always have like a end of the year performance. And so we did Swan Lake, and we did like this Dance of Pirates of the Caribbean, and I had a solo, you know. And at the end of that, the ballet mistress of this company came up to me, and she gives me all the compliments, right? She's like, oh my gosh, you were beautiful, all these things. And she goes, you're right for ballet, but not here. And I just remember thinking, like as a kid, I was just like thinking, okay, tell me where I should go. Like, let me know where I should go. And she named a very prominent African-American company. And at the time I was like, well, why do I have to go there? And she also made it seem like if I wanted to go the other route and be with this other company, that, you know, I would definitely have to start straightening my hair even more, to go into a slick bun. And also there was comments made about my skin, how like my skin's like in the in-between stage. So like on stage, you know, I've been washed out before, to the point where people are like, oh, that wasn't you on stage. That was a white girl on stage. And I'm like, no, it was me, but my skin got washed out. And so when I read the script, it reminded me of that so much, because I've gone through so much internal struggle, not just with ballet, but with myself in general, trying to see, even with acting, like we talked about, trying to like find out like what the industry thinks a Black woman is. And it's like, how much of myself am I gonna give up in order to fit into this box, in order to make my dreams come true? And choosing happiness at the end of the day is what I wanna do. And this essence of me will be right for something, and I will continue to elevate myself and love myself and be prepared when that door opens for me.
That's great. So you guys know we are all young ladies, right?
Oh,
but we
yeah.
have gone through a lot of obstacles, and we have obviously progressed through so many of them, including the ones that we all spoke about earlier. Is there any advice that you would give to any other younger women of color as they navigate the world and progress towards the dream and goals that you yourself have aspired to get to?
I would say not to judge yourself too harshly or compare yourselves to others. I feel like that's kind of like a pitfall for people if you
Yeah.
compare your progress to what other people are doing and not focusing on yourself and how you're growing, because everyone's different in where they are in space and time, on how they're progressing, on what they want and what they're trying to get. But by comparing yourselves, it's just not healthy.
There's like a lot of boxes that they try to put like Black women in, on who we can be and what we're capable of and what we can do. And I think my only advice is just like ignore the box completely and like define it for
boxes.
yourself. Unfortunately, it's definitely gonna follow you wherever, so you could either succumb to it or break out of it and completely just like make your own box or define it. What is it for yourself? You have to define yourself, because everyone is already putting all these words and labels on you, and and if it doesn't resonate with you, or if you don't know if it resonates with you, you should have the space to explore yourself and define that for yourself.
Exactly. And Tuya, this relates strongly to the character that you played and in your own life. So what are your thoughts?
You know, in my career specifically, I've dealt with so much self-hatred, just like trying to find out where I belong and, you know, am I too dark, am I too light, is my hair too big, is it too small, is it like, you know, am I talking too weird, how do I change myself, how do I, like, God made you who you are for a reason, and you are so special in your cellular makeup of your body and your personality and the way that you've grown up and the experiences that you've had. Like, no one else can do and be who you are, so never compromise yourself. Now that I've decided not to compromise myself, I'm doing great.
Yeah, don't be afraid to take up space.
No, no more being small. That's my advice. Yeah.
And I'd have to say, like, in any industry, no matter how many no's we get, we just got to keep fighting.
Yeah.
And honestly, at the end of the day, look in the mirror and give the yes to ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if we don't
That's
believe in
so
ourselves,
true.
no one else really will.
Yes.
It takes us doing it for
You
ourselves.
gotta bet on
and I
yourself.
think that's why I'm so proud of you ladies, because you all are making an avenue and a lane for yourselves by creating a film, telling your stories, casting other beautiful women of color. So I am just so proud of you all, and I'm so happy to be here. And thank you, Neutrogena. And I think that's all the time that we have here. But thank you so much for joining us at this round table. I am so honored. God bless all of you, and enjoy the films, guys.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Now it's the time we've all been waiting for. Here is the official world premiere of Anavant by Sarah Jean Williams, and If My Voice Rang Louder Than My Skin by Kyra Peters.
All right, ladies, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you very much. You'll step to the side. I'd like the next group out, please. Come on, 17. Let's carry along. All right, thank you all for coming in today. Congratulations, number 17, Reagan Peters, who'll be playing the lead. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's this. You putting in extra work like this. This is good. Hard work is good.
Thank you.
Well, shall we begin? Let's take it from the movements right before the series of turns. All right. Again, or fluidly. Go. Reagan, this is classical ballet, not hip-hop. I need you to move with elegance. Again.
Yes, sir.
Stop. Reagan, you're a very talented dancer. I truly believe you can do great things. But I didn't pick you only for your talent. I picked you because I wanted to help you. A girl like you. They don't pick girls like you. Not for this. You need to be perfect. Otherwise, you look like a mistake. So don't make me regret this. Again. Ready?
Yes.
I'm glad we could give you this opportunity.
Yes, thank you. I truly appreciate it.
Of course. This is the foundation you'll be wearing for the show tonight.
I think you may have given me the wrong
No,
shade.
no, it's correct. It's nothing major, just something so you look more uniform with the rest of the company.
I don't know.
By putting this on, you become closer to the character. This is what you signed up for. Good. Great. Trust me. You're on in 5.
Yes?
Someone's here to see you. Can they come in?
Sure.
Could you please sign my program, Miss Ballerina?
Yes. What's your name?
Bailey.
Bailey.
Do you think I could be a ballerina too?
Well, if you put your mind to it, you can be a ballerina too.
Even if I don't have pretty skin like you?
Bailey, don't take too much of our time.
Yes, Mom. I made this for you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Reagan, this is classical ballet, not hip-hop. You come closer to the character. This is what you signed up for. You need to be perfect. I didn't pick you only for your talent. Stop! Stop! I picked you because I wanted to help you. A girl like you. They don't pick girls like you. Not for this. Why aren't you wearing makeup? You get back there and fix your face.
Let go of me.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, where hope starts the day and defeat kicks off the night, lived a boy named Ray Wright. In a world where no one listened, music was Ray's only form of self-expression, because his skin rang louder than his voice and made the first impression.
Thief. Delinquent. Hoodlum. Thief. Delinquent. Hoodlum.
Everyone's skin rang so loud, not one voice could be heard. They all succumbed to the spell of the cruel, harsh words. Until one day, Ray heard a sound that made everything else fall into the background.
Just imagine what the world could be if skin wasn't a barrier for you and me. My voice may be small when I sing, but together as one, our voices could ring. So sing along with me and rejoice. Don't be afraid to lift your voice.
In that moment, Ray had a choice: to stay hidden in the background or dare lift his voice.
If our voices ring louder than our skin, we wouldn't just have to survive. With no fear to be ourselves, we could finally thrive. Keep it going!
If my voice rang louder than my skin, if my voice rang louder than our skin, if our voices ring 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 louder than our skin,
If my voice rang louder than my skin, my voice would finally matter.
Then maybe the world could finally have its own happily ever after.
When Ray dared to stand out, to stand up for what he believed in, the world sang in harmony, ringing louder than everyone's skin.
if my voice rang louder than my skin, if my voices rang louder than our skin, if my voices rang louder than our skin, if our 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 voices rang louder than our skin.